Hey Fiends, it's Pixie. So if you know me, you know my favourite band in the universe, the whole universe, all of it, is Bauhaus. I have quite a lot of Bauhaus stuff and I love pretty much everything that they do, even outside of Bauhaus. So I have seen both Peter and David J several times live, and it was time for another one of those because Mr. David J is on tour. So I got to see him in London in a funny little club called Moth Club, which is basically like an old Rotary Club hall where there's like one tiny little room that's the pub bit, and then another slightly less tiny but still pretty tiny room that's all glittery ceilings and those dangly tinsel curtain things, and it was very cute. A little bit Twin Peaks, which is very appropriate for David. It had a very much old cabaret type feel to it, which again very appropriate for David. There's definitely a big cabaret influence on his stuff, and yeah, it was a really good gig, so I thought I would do one of my burbles about it because I don't know. So I also managed to get some swag. I got this really lovely poster of David, which is signed if slightly crumpled because I got lost on the night buses on the way home, so all my posters are a little bit squished. And I also got the new CD, which is also signed. Haven't had the chance to listen to it yet, but he played a fair few songs from it during the set, so I'm really excited to hear some of these. Plus there's some new recordings of old songs like The Auteur, which I am looking forward to hearing again. I really like the arrangement that they went for. It was David and a couple of Czech guys from Prague who he recorded this with. I don't remember their names off the top of my head, but it was a keyboard player and a violin player, and they also helped making this. That's making a weird creaking noise. What am I doing to it? I put that down before I break it. There's like more. I don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, yeah, I don't remember their names off the top of my head, and even if I did, I probably wouldn't be able to pronounce them, but I will put them in the description down there. So that was quite exciting. I think that when I've seen David before on previous tours, he's had a slightly bigger band, but this was just the three of them, and it sounded really nice. There were a few points where they were having some technical issues, so during, what song was it? Spalding Grey, which is a heartbreaking song enough as it is, the keyboard cut right out, and so it was just David and the violin, and that was even more heartbreaking because you could really sort of really pick out David's voice, which was oof, that song is desperately sad. Basically, like, David has a bunch of songs that are like heartbreaking character studies, a bunch of character studies of pretty ladies, a bunch of songs that sound a bit like a hug, and a bunch of songs that sound like some sort of seedy nightclub cabaret stuff. And I like all of these, so it was nice to have a pretty good mix of stuff from pretty much his whole career, including a couple of Love and Rockets songs. I remember they were playing Dog End of the Day Gone By, which is one of my favourites, so that was nice. And they did play Who Killed Mr. Moonlight from the Bauhaus years. That was on, yeah, and like, that is one of my favourite songs of all time. I love that song. That was like the first song that, or not, it wasn't one of the first songs I heard, you know, but Burning from the Inside was the first Bauhaus album I got, and by the time it got to that song I was hooked, and I just love the lyrics in that. It's so almost painterly with the quality of the lyrics. David's very good at lyrics anyway, but I'm rambling like mad, I'm sorry. Yeah, so we had, in terms of songs from his solo output, it was a good mixture from everything. So a few songs from the new thing, Beaver, Crocodile Tears on the Velvet Cosh, Candy on the Cross, Not Long for This World, lots of other things as well which I can't remember. The only downside was it was a relatively short set. For some reason the curfew was something like 10 o'clock, presumably because the place turned into an actual nightclub afterwards, but still that was a little annoying. So it was only like an hour and 15 minutes, which is criminally short for somebody with such a big back catalogue. So there were a few things that I would have liked to hear, but I'm not exactly going to complain because what I did hear was really good. It was a weird sort of energy though. I've never seen David quite so, not quite antagonistic, but sort of raw on solo. Like, usually if I see him doing Bauhaus stuff, then he's doing the whole cool aloof bass player thing, and if I see him do solo, it's more of this sort of quirky, smooth cabaret thing. But this had a certain sort of edge to it which he doesn't normally have. I don't know whether it was because of the technical issues, but then I've seen him with technical issues before and he's never been quite like that, so who knows. There was one point where there was this girl, this was a tiny little club, there was probably only about 40 people in there or something, and there was one girl who'd gone right near the front and was talking away and looking at her phone, so it was really illuminating her face and bringing all the more attention. And David gave her a right old talking to, and I've never seen him get like that. He's normally like the most chill, like most polite, nice person, and so that was a little surreal. I don't know whether it was just because of the technical issues with the keyboard that he was a bit on edge, or whether she particularly pissed him off, but yeah, so that was a bit weird, but it was really good. Generally fantastic set. I'm really looking forward to listening to the new stuff. And yeah, that's kind of all I have to say. I had a really good night anyway. I did get to very briefly speak to David a couple of times because he signed my CD, and then I said thank you for the gig afterwards. I made probably a bit of a tit of myself because I'd had a few beers and my tolerance is not good. But I also had lots of fun hanging out with some old friends from the Bauhaus music forums from way back when. I realised I hadn't seen one of them in about 13 years, which is nuts. That makes me feel very old. So yeah, that's kind of nice, and it's kind of nice, like there's this weird sort of deja vu feeling because like Bauhaus are reforming just for a couple of shows in the States. And you know, there's drama going on the internet, and there's like, I'm talking to people I haven't spoken to in years, and it's like, is this 2006 again? So that's kind of nice, if kind of surreal. And as much as I would love to see them all together again, there's no way I'm getting over to the States, and as much as I'd like to see the whole band bury the hatchet, if they stay together for more than a couple of weeks, the hatchet will get buried in someone's head. So chances are I'm not going to see them all together again, but I can still see them on solo, and I'm happy with that. So yeah, that was just a quick video to talk about that. That was a bit rambly, I'm sorry. I do have a few more big projects planned in the video end of things that I will be working on very soon, and those will be coming up soon. There's still some Halloween tap videos that I need to do as well, and I still need to do the Mira Luna vlog because I haven't gone around to do that yet. I mean, I've done it, it's just been sitting on my editing suite for about 2 months. And I've got a few new things coming up on the website as well, so there will be links to all of the stuff that is already out down below, and so if you want to check that out, please do. Otherwise, feel free to comment and whatever, especially if you're, especially if you were on the old Bauhaus music forums, because it's nice to see all you guys again. Anyway, I'm going to shut up because it's gone midnight again and I am rambling, so I will see you soon. Bye bye.